Welcome back to DreamBuilders. I'm Scott Morgan. Even with its contemporary style, this home in Chestertown, Maryland has a noticeable bungalow design. It's hard to classify our next home in California. It's pie-shaped, made with dozens of materials, and partially sunken into the earth.
Mike and Mary Jo McFarlane always knew that when the time came for them to build a home, it would be a style uniquely their own.
It's a surprise house. You come up the driveway and it's just not what you think it's going to be.
An 80-acre tract of bare land in the Sierra foothills of Northern California gave them the opportunity to let their imaginations run wild.
I had always been entranced by the idea of having a partial underground house.
We love nature, so we wanted to have a lot of windows so that we could see the outside.
Working with architect Don Grover, the couple developed a design that met all of their dreams, with a central structure that looks like a cave rising from the top of the hill.
I really love working with a lot of different kinds of shapes and curves because they are a natural shape.
Creating the natural look took a lot of steel and concrete. The house had to be securely anchored into a place where the soil is made of loose clay and rock.
We decided to dig into the hill so that we keep the knoll, the integrity of the knoll. Because of that, we really had to develop a structural system that would stabilize the building.
A massive retaining wall was poured where the house rests against the hill. While the finished exterior looks anything but standard, the infrastructure was designed along the same lines as a parking garage.
It's a post and beam construction with heavy-duty I-beams. There are 11 vertical beams which are supporting a series of curved I-beams which then support pandeck.
While the ceiling beams were left exposed inside the house, the building's skeleton became the framework for creating free-form shapes.
We formed a rebar shell to make the basic free-form and then sprayed the concrete onto that.
Acid stains were used to color the exterior and interior, including the concrete floor. This was just one of the jobs Mike decided to do himself.
I did it with a low-pressure sprayer, going over and over it until we got the colors we wanted. The colors to match the ground and the surrounding areas.
From the top of the hill, the compound looks like separate buildings, with the entrance to the cave in the middle.
We wanted that experience to walk up there and see these grouping of buildings and still be able to see the surrounding mountains and so forth.
The natural beauty of the Sierra foothills also became a resource for the construction team.
One of the neat features was we were able to pick up a lot of the rocks around the site and build a fireplace, and the rock wall are both built with native rocks here.
The massive interior waterfall is the centerpiece of the cave. A glass block clear-story window on the roof creates a splash of light across the top of the fireplace. Laying the rocks for the front took almost 6 weeks.
They're put on dry and then concrete tucked in behind them, and they're wired in place until it dries, or they're pegged in. So the finish looks like a pile of rock rather than being cemented together.
The top floor entrance is decorated with a mosaic created by a cousin of Mike's, using only scraps of glass, marble, stone, and tile. Rather than installing curtains or doors in the circular guest showers, the couple's son and daughter-in-law created 8-foot-high mosaics.
It's the first thing you see when you look at the shower.
The McFarlanes have a passion for cooking that led them to install 2 kitchens in their home. One is commercial grade. The other is described as their show kitchen.
The show kitchen is intended to do cooking demos, to do fancy cooking, for doing flambés, for doing impressive cooking.
Try it again, yes!
Down an underground corridor and behind a door that doubles as a bookcase, you'll find a wine cellar. Rather than line the room with wine racks, the couple found they could fit a case of wine into a less expensive chimney flue.
So what we did was buy 120 chimney flues and stack them up one on the other to make a wine cellar, and we stacked it up against the retaining wall, which is 12 feet underground, so stays at a constant 65 degrees.
The corridor also connects the bedroom wing. This building has more traditional architecture. Each of the rooms is large, with a full fireplace and balcony. The master suite also boasts light panels of onyx on either side of the doorway, and fabulous views from the bath.
I really do enjoy the home. I love the view, having a 360 view. It feels as if we're on a trip and we're on a romantic getaway.
That's the feeling Mike and Mary Jo try to make sure their family and friends experience too. A place of comfort and beauty, capped by the golden touch of a sunset just outside their windows. Can you identify the mystery house? This mansion in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, sometimes felt more like a zoo than a stately Queen Anne Victorian. The answer when DreamBuilders return.